Well, I got a perfect example today of sometimes how shippers really screw with truckers. Also, shouldn't there be some sort of a split 34 provision on this episode of
The Clutch Trucker Channel?
Clutch Trucker, filmed before a live and fuzzy studio audience. Yep, you know him, you love him. Joe can't live without him. It's Rusty, the world-famous meatball dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. Sitting here at a shipper in New London, Wisconsin. Got here at 9 o'clock this morning for my supposed appointment. Took him about 20 minutes before anyone even acknowledged I'm standing around inside. Then they claimed, oh, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we don't have any paperwork on that. And let me go check. I wait longer. Another 20 minutes or so, finally they come out. Oh, well, we're still looking. I'm trying to make some calls. You can go back out and wait in your truck. Oh, can I? Thank you. Went back in 2:30. Checked back in. Pick up the little phone, call the number on the wall there. Get somebody to say, oh, yeah, let me look around for that. Stand in there another 15-20 minutes. Nobody's coming. Pick up the phone, hit that little number again, so at least it rings all through the warehouse. Finally, a guy comes over, all hacked off. Well, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to get somebody's attention here. I've been here since 9 o'clock this morning. Supposed to pick up a load. Finally, another guy comes over on a forklift, because apparently this guy I just talked to had just shown up. Says, oh, are you the one who's been here since 9 o'clock? Yeah. Oh, okay, well, we can't find any paperwork. There's no paperwork. You got to pull outside the gate and come back at 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that ain't happening. This load only paid $500. It was something for me to do today and deliver early tomorrow morning at 7 so that I could try to get a load tomorrow. It's not worth sitting here, leaving, coming back for this little short hop that God knows how long it's still going to take for them to load me and unload me tomorrow. No, I need something that's going to pay me to run somewhere. I was just doing this to fill the gap on a Sunday. Had I known this was going to happen, I could have stayed where I was in Plover, Wisconsin, got a nice 34-hour reset. But still waiting to hear back from the broker. I told him what I just told you, that, you know, they told me to go outside the gate and come back in the morning. He said, well, he's going to call them again. That hasn't been doing a lot of good so far. So at this point, I think I'm going to give him a few more minutes. It's 3 p.m. now. I've been here 6 hours. And say, all right, well, then I'm done with this. You just need to send me a TONU. For those of you who don't know, TONU, truck ordered, not used, is what TONU stands for. Usually, it's at most $150. It's not worth all the time and everything I've wasted and the 50 miles I drove over here from Plover to get this thing. With all these ways of communication we have nowadays, and somehow the people in the warehouse can't communicate with the people in the office, this is obviously Amcor's problem. That's where I'm at. Amcor, A-M-C-O-R. Because the broker says, well, they got this late on Friday. But obviously the office didn't communicate any of this information to the warehouse people, who are the ones who need to load me on the weekend on Sunday. So, other people not doing their jobs, and who loses? The driver. It's always our fault. It's always our problem. You know, shippers and receivers can be late, can screw up, can be wrong all the time. Boy, we're 10 minutes late to a delivery or something, they charge us $500. You know, that's the part of this industry that really blows. So, yeah, like I say, giving them 5 more minutes, and then I'm leaving. And I'll just find some place to park, and then I will start looking for loads again tomorrow, and hopefully at least I'll get a TONU for this, to cover a little bit of my time. But freaking ridiculous. Yeah, so I did just go ahead and leave because it had been over 6 hours. By the time I left there, probably 6 hours and 15 minutes. And the last contact I got from the broker, and I talked to the guy a long time yesterday, and I seemed like a real nice guy and everything, but yeah, he all of a sudden ghosted me. The last thing I heard from him at 2:45 was, I'll call them back or I'll call them again. Never heard anything after that. So I texted him and said, this was past ridiculous a couple hours ago, and I think it's tow new time. So I went ahead and left about 3:15. I came over here and parked. Oh, there's Rusty back there. And at a quick trip in Larson, Wisconsin, so I can try to find a decent load tomorrow. I'm not going to wait outside their gate till tomorrow morning at 7 for maybe the chance for this load to work. And then how long would they take to load? Then on the other end, how long would they take to unload? And I've only made $500 over 2 days? No, not acceptable. So I'd rather be able to get parked and get up early tomorrow and start looking for loads in all the wrong places that can actually pay me something decent to run for a couple days. But yeah, I texted the broker again once I got here. That was about 3:40, and said, you need to send me a new rate confirmation with a tow new. Please send that as soon as possible. Never heard anything else. So I'm going to be blowing up his phone tomorrow to make sure I get that, so I can at least get that turned in before noon on Monday. That's when I have to have everything turned in by noon on Monday to get paid by the following Friday. I should get, a standard tow new, like I said earlier, is about $150. Should get at least that for all my time, for the miles I had to drive, for nothing. Okay, and then I was talking to my wife as I was driving down here, and it brought me back to something else. I had talked to her about this years ago. We have a split sleeper berth, so we can make things work on that. The 34-hour reset I mentioned earlier, I could have got that if I just stayed in Plover, so I had a fresh 70 hours for my week and all that. But now I've moved the truck, and yet I didn't make any money. I wasn't moving loads. I wasn't advancing loads. I wasn't, that's not an advantage to any shipper or anything else. So why can't I still get a 34 reset if all I did was just move the truck? Like I say, it wasn't moving the truck to make money because I didn't make any money. I didn't even get that load. We need a split sleeper berth kind of provision type thing for the 34-hour reset, don't you think? Because I was parked at like 1 p.m. yesterday, Saturday. Here it is now, 6:21 p.m. on Sunday. Of course, we did lose that hour because we had to leap ahead, for that spring stupid blah, 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 daylight savings time and all that. But, basically, by the time I find a load tomorrow morning, it's going to be 7, 8 o'clock at least, if not later. I will have done well more than 34 hours without working, essentially. So even though I had to move the truck, shouldn't I still be able to get the credit for a 34-hour reset? I mean, drivers, doesn't this make sense to you? Because I wasn't working, essentially. I was just wasting time, getting annoyed. There needs to be a split, some sort of a split provision like that on the 34-hour reset. Because I've said it years ago, well, what if I got empty in some town and I really didn't feel safe staying where I was, but knew I didn't have a load for like another day or two? Can't I just move the truck so I can feel safe and park somewhere else where I'd rather spend the rest of all that time off? Why am I punished because I moved the truck? So that's something for you drivers to think about. Shouldn't there be some sort of a split provision for the 34-hour reset? What do you think? Well, thanks for tuning in for that one. Wasn't planning on doing a video today, but I thought, this is a good example of how shippers screw us. Sometimes I think the broker had all the best intentions and all that. I really think this was all the shipper's fault. But, still, who gets screwed? Yeah, me. Gotta love it, right, Rusty? All right, thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please like and comment and share and thumbs up and all that jazz. I get your comments as soon as I can. Sometimes takes a few days because I'm a working truck driver. Clutch Trucker on Instagram, Clutch Trucker on Twitter X, Clutch Trucker 5 on TikTok, and as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out. Do you think that was the right thing to do? Or do you think it was stupid? Don't call me stupid. Right! Because calling you stupid would be an insult to stupid people! Alright, he's ready. He's waiting for it. Oh, there's your bacon strip. Yeah, we're kind of down to bacon strip pieces in this bag. I do have another hefty Ziploc bag full of more bacon strips. What I found is those big giant vegan strip bags, the zip thing doesn't work after a while, and then they get all hard. So I have to put them in the rest in individual little Ziploc, hefty bag type of things, and because we want to keep them fresh for old Rusty here, right, Rusty? Oh yes, happy dog. Alrighty, I think you got them all, buddy. Oh, I see a crumb down there. Better get that. You see it? Rusty. It's right there. There you go. Alright, let's get that happy dog look, Rusty.